out there, and welcome to Just Lean Time Push Up. It is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW's Dynamite. Let's kick things off talking about Tony Khan's big announcement. So Tony Khan said he had an announcement, and everybody was wondering what it was about. Some people said it had to deal maybe with Mercedes Moné. Some people thought maybe it had to deal with Okada. I personally thought it had to do with CMLL, because their wrestlers have been showing up over the last couple of weeks. So I kind of thought it had something to do with that, but no. So Tony Khan announced a show called Big Business for March 13th at the TD Garden. He says that this will be an important night for AEW in the entire pro wrestling industry. He says Big Business is going to be one of the most important nights in AEW and a night the entire pro wrestling industry will remember. So let's look at this. So I wasn't a huge fan of the name Big Business, but I get it. So if you look closely at the back where it says Boston, you can see that they spell Boston with two S's and there are money signs, which is a hint, boss. And who do we know that calls themselves, the boss? Which honestly can only mean one thing. Probably that Mercedes Moné is going to make her debut there. This is probably similar to Last Dance, like when CM Punk came back. So I'm pretty excited. If you guys noticed, earlier in the day, TD Garden actually kind of semi-spoiled the announcement when they posted this on their Facebook page. So they kind of spoiled it in case anybody saw that. I think they deleted it though. But nevertheless, I do think this means Mercedes Moné is coming to AEW. And, it's be interesting to see how the women's division changes. I do have noticed that little things here and there that he is taking steps to improve the women's division. I didn't watch Collision this past weekend, but I heard we got 2 women's matches. That's a big improvement. I just hope that it leads to more women's matches on Dynamite, and I hope that the women are not still continuing to being reduced to one segment. Good for them. Enjoy the Cinderella Monet dream while it lasts. Yeah, Tony has a habit of bringing in people and then forgetting about the people he just brought in. So I'm really hoping nothing happens to Diana. She does have a championship match at Revolution. So I'm worried that if she loses, she's just going to fade into obscurity. So I really hope that does not happen. But you know what? Why not give me Diana Purrazzo versus Mercedes Moné? That's a match I want to see. But hopefully, this means good things for the women's division. But booking and consistency will be the deciding factor. Exactly. Booking and consistency. We don't know the length of her contract. We don't know anything about the details yet. I guess we'll probably find out on March 13th. But yes, booking and consistency make or break a division. I mean, I've always talked about TNA. It has the best women's division. Best booked women's division. All right, let's talk about this main event. It was the AEW World Tag Team Title Tornado match. It was Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Sting and Darby Allin. So this was an incredible match. I mean, I really enjoyed this match. This was a great main event. Now, one of my favorite spots in this match was when they take the fight to the crowd and Sting jumps off, I guess, the railing, and he takes out Big Bill and Ricky Starks. I also like when Darby Allin hits the Code Red to Big Bill and then hits him with the coffin drop. I thought that was a pretty cool spot. Now, I have to say, Ricky Starks, adding insult to injury, he used Sting's own Scorpion Deadlock on him. I was like, oh, damn, that seemed to be a factor throughout the night. You'll see what I'm talking about later. But I really, really liked this match. It was a fun match. And of course, Sting and Darby Allin are victorious after Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop to Ricky Starks. So they are now the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Sting's family was at ringside to see this match. Sting winning championship gold in 2024 makes me so happy. Oh, hey, Daniel. How are you? So, Sting brings in his sons and, the ref hands him the title. There's confetti. Everyone is just so happy and enjoying this moment. And then the Young Bucks come out. and they with bats, and they attack not only Sting and Darby Allin, but they also attack Sting's sons. Darby Allin gets busted open, his blood gets all over Matthew's suit, and the BTE trigger, according to commentary, is now called the EVP trigger, which they hit Darby Allin. You're doing great. Good to see you too, Daniel. So they hold up the tag titles and then toss them to Sting and Darby Allin. I've talked about this. I said that if they won, I think the Bucks are taking those tag titles off of Sting and Darby Allin. With the way the Bucks are acting, their heels, it would make perfect sense and fits their character. They've been talking about how Sting doesn't belong there because they wanted to hashtag change the world, which was AEW's motto when it first started in 2019. And they think that Sting doesn't fit that phase. So what better way to get bragging rights and to be the ultimate heels than to not only take the titles off of Sting and Darby Allin, but to retire Sting. So I think that they're winning at Revolution. As much as people don't want to see that, I think they're winning. I'm so surprised it wasn't a singles match between Sting and Darby Allin. I thought that was going to be Sting's final match. They're going to put Darby Allin over, but that didn't happen. But nevertheless, the crowd was booing this. They were just booing the Bucks. I mean, talk about them being heels. They did their job. They're supposed to be the heels, and they got the crowd to hate them. They really did a good job at that. So, great way to end Dynamite. Speaking of which, Dynamite opened up with Hangman Adam Page versus Strickland 3. This match, holy smokes, was incredible. This was a really great match, great opening match. I wouldn't have minded this main evented either. This could have also been the main event. One of my favorite spots, and again, Swerve Strickland using Hangman Adam Page's own buckshot lariat on him. I thought that was pretty cool. My jaw dropped when I hit that. And that seems to be a recurring pattern. First him, Ricky Starks in the main event. And then there's somebody else that uses another finisher that doesn't belong to him, but I'll get to that. Hangman hits him with 2 buckshot lariats. That's not enough. I really like how Prince Nana started dancing to try to help motivate Swerve Strickland here. Not only does Swerve Strickland use the buckshot lariat, he also uses the Deadeye and sends Hangman through a table. Now, unfortunately, this match ends in a draw. The time limit expires just as Hangman's going for the pin. And, Swerve Strickland tells Hangman he didn't go through all of this for it to end like that. And, he basically tries to get him to go 5 more minutes, sudden death. But Hangman has a smile on his face. And he tells Swerve Strickland that he had to beat him to become number 1 contender. He didn't do so, and he will not be world champion. And it's over for him. So, one thing I noticed during this match is I think they were in Phoenix, right? The crowd was completely behind Swerve Strickland. They were booing Hangman Adam Page during this. And I think Hangman Adam Page took note of that. You could see it in his face. Tony Schiavone announces that Tony Khan told him it isn't that they have 2 number 1 contenders, and announces it would be a 3-way match. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World title at Revolution. Hangman is pissed and he yells, "You didn't beat me, you lost." So I was a little taken back by this, but I get why they went with the time limit draw. They probably didn't want Hangman to lose a 3rd time to Swerve Strickland. They probably didn't want Swerve Strickland to get pinned. And the only solution was to do a 3-way. So I question, if Samoa Joe does retain, who is he going to pin, Hangman or Swerve Strickland? I like Hangman Adam Page, but I honestly feel if someone's going to have to take the pin, it should be him. I feel it wouldn't hurt him as much, but Swerve Strickland, he needs that momentum. But I am kind of disappointed that we're not getting a one-on-one match. I wanted Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe one-on-one, and I think he should be champion this year, especially after this incredible match. And I don't understand why he hasn't challenged one-on-one for the title. The whole point of his rivalry with Hangman was that he was going to take Hangman's spot. This should have been a one-on-one match between Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe. I like Hangman Adam Page, but I think Swerve Strickland deserved to win this match. But I get it. But overall, great match. What did you guys think of this match and the time limit draw? Let me know in the comments or the live chat. Samoa Joe gets interviewed backstage about his reaction towards this, and he's just in shock that he's dealing with this right now, and that they're celebrating mediocrity because it was a draw, and that neither Hangman nor Strickland deserve to be in the ring with him. But he basically says that he'll walk out of Revolution as AEW World Champion, and it's a shame that Hangman and Strickland will suffer because of it. So good promo by Samoa Joe. We get an AEW Women's World Title Eliminator match, Toni Storm versus Red Velvet, with Deonna Purrazzo on commentary. If Red Velvet won this, she would face the winner of Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. This was a decent match. Toni Storm won by submission with an ankle lock to Red Velvet. And at the end of the match, like, she's still holding on to the ankle lock. She's clearly sending Deonna Purrazzo a message here. And Deonna enters the ring, and Toni Storm sniffs her. And, like, she shoves her hand in Storm's face. You know, the typical Deonna shoot gesture. And then Luther gets in the middle, and she does the shoot to him, too. So, you know, I would like if, like, Tony Khan somehow, someway got Matthew Raywa to do commentary for Deonna Purrazzo's match. It's just not a Deonna Purrazzo championship match without Matthew Raywa's commentary. He totally made her matches. And I'm excited for this match. I cannot wait. I really would hope that Deonna Purrazzo becomes AEW Women's World Champion. You know, since, like I said, since Swerve Strickland used the Buckshot Lariat and the Deadeye, and Ricky Starks used the Scorpion Deadlock, I'm really surprised that Toni Storm didn't use one of Deonna Purrazzo's own moves during this match. Like, I'm surprised she didn't use the Venus de Milo or the Fujiwara armbar or the Queen's Gambit. I mean, if she really wanted to send Deonna Purrazzo a message, she should have used one of Deonna's own moves on Red Velvet. Yay! Io, my TNA fellow Impactor. I don't know. You're rooting for Deonna. So I think a lot of us are rooting for Deonna Purrazzo. Lucha, I don't know if he's watching, but shout out to Lucha. Long may she fucking reign. Would be nice if she becomes the first person to hold the AEW Women's World Title, the Knockouts World Title, and the Knockouts Tag Team titles. So we get a Best Friends and Orange Cassidy interview. We find out that Orange Cassidy is going to defend on Collision against Tomohiro Ishii. That should be a good match. Absolutely. We love the Ruchosa, right? Don't get me wrong. I like Timeless Toni Storm, but I like Deonna Purrazzo before I like Timeless Storm. So I'm ready for Deonna Purrazzo on here. Like Lucha would say, long may she fucking reign. So Trent Beretta seems surprised by the news. Like, you can see by the look on his face that he was kind of caught off guard. But he says he thinks it's weird. And then we also find out that on Rampage, it will be a 6-man tag match against the Undisputed Era with Rocky Morero stepping in for Chuck Taylor. So Orange Cassidy says that Chuck Taylor's there and he's getting checked up on. And then they all do this whole hand thing where they go hands up. I forgot what that's called. Later on in the night, we actually see the Undisputed Kingdom attacking Chuck Taylor and Matt Taven's holding on to him while Adam Cole wheels in on his wheelchair and tells him to get well soon, Chuck Taylor. So they clearly sent Best Friends and Orange Cassidy a message here. We get a trios match, Blackpool Combat Club versus Volador Jr., Hechicero, and Mascara Dorada. This was another great match. I mean, this is obviously setting up to either BCC versus CMLL or AEW versus CMLL, because not only that, but Mystical, Star Jr., and Esafreen were at ringside watching this. So this is clearly setting up to something. That's why I kind of thought that Tony Khan's announcement was going to deal with CMLL, because they're obviously building to something. Maybe we'll see CMLL at Forbidden Door. But Hechicero and Brian started this match. I didn't see their match on Collision, but I heard it was really great, and I wouldn't mind seeing another match between them. But that was a great moment with Hechicero and Bryan Danielson. Like, I like when Claudio Castelloni stepped in. Like, you saw the height difference between him and Mascara Dorada. Like, Volador Jr. is impressive here. He sent Jon Moxley into the barricade. He did a hurricanrana to Jon Moxley. Like, when they were all on the outside, all the men swarmed each other. And, like, the poor ref was just trying to restore order here. I really like the double arm drag that Mascara Dorada did to Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. That shooting star press off the rope that Mascara Dorada did to everybody was incredible. I really like that spot there. Or that code red to Claudio by Mascara Dorada, also impressive. Now, there's this spot where like the ref almost gets crushed, so he's like in the corner cowering. And in the meantime, Claudio Castelloni takes advantage of that and he low blows Hechicero while the ref isn't looking. And so Blackpool Combat Club wins this. And that's when Místico, Star Jr., Efrain enter the ring, and then the rest of the AEW locker room come out. So, like, that's what I'm saying. This is obviously building to probably CMLL versus AEW, which I wouldn't mind. Like, these CMLL guys have been pretty cool. Okay. And so, lastly, because we get Chris Jericho versus Konosuke Takeshita. This was another fantastic match. I mean, like, holy smokes. Like, I was super into this match. Like, I really, when Chris Jericho put on Takeshita's mask and he took him out on the outside, like, Sammy Guevara, he came down to try to, even the odds, and he hit Powerhouse Hobbs with the chair to the back and then hit him with the cutter. Like, that Blue Thunder Bomb to Chris Jericho was amazing. The Avalanche Blue Thunder Bomb. Oh my god. I thought it was over right there. Don Callis distracts the ref by throwing a chair into the ring. And then Don Callis hits Jericho with a screwdriver. And then Konosuke Takeshita put Chris Jericho in his own move with the Walls of Jericho. Not only that, Chris Jericho tapped out to his own move. So Konosuke Takeshita won by submission. Talk about adding insult to injury. So that seemed to be like a pattern tonight. Everybody was using their opponent's moves. Like Ricky Starks used Sting Scorpion Death Drop. Swerve Strickland used the Buckshot Lariat and the Deadeye. And then you got Konosuke Takeshita using Chris Jericho's Walls of Jericho. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised Toni Storm didn't use one of Diana's own moves on Red Velvet. I would have been shocked at that. But this was an incredible match. Like, damn, like, not only did he beat Chris Jericho, he beat him with his own move, and he made him tap out to his own move. Jericho be putting over mid-card, but submit to your own submission. What? I think Konosuke Takeshita will be champion someday. Like, after this performance, how could he not be champion someday? Like, he made Chris Jericho tap out to his own move. So, overall, I actually really enjoyed tonight's Dynamite. There was not really one thing I disliked about tonight's show. I thought everything was incredible top to bottom. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, I'd give tonight's show a Sean Spears perfect 10. I really did enjoy tonight's show. It was incredible. And that crowd at the very beginning of the show, like, holy smokes, like, they were on fire. And I just thought that overall it was a really great show. But with that being said, crazy day today, but decent show. Definitely crazy day. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And as far as tomorrow is concerned, I know that the news broke today that TNA did fire Scott D'Amore. But I will still continue to watch TNA, support the talent, and if you still are continuing to watch TNA, feel free to check out my reviews every Thursday on Body Slam. So if you're going to watch TNA, I'll see you guys tomorrow over on Body Slam for the review. And if not, then I will see you guys here on Friday after SmackDown. Bye.